Well, I was getting ready to leave off, and a mutated event popped up. So we're gonna go to that before before we call it a day. We did finish our build, and this one is Heart of the Swamp. Not one of my particular favorites mutated events, but we'll get one in here with our girl and get some goodies out of that. So I think the mutation is active camouflage, and we'll go ahead and join a team. Maybe we grab some more XP while we're at it. And all right. So with the active camouflage mutation, what you want to look for is like a shimmer. I think we've said that before, but just as a reminder, there is like a little shimmer, and that's the kind of telltale sign of something being there. And of course, you want to get some hits on the heart here, heart of the swamp, and we'll have to be particularly careful of the radiation, because that's how it protects itself. But see that shimmer? Oh, there we go. See, like a bit of a shimmer, and that's how you can tell the active camouflage. It's sometimes it can be really hard to tell, and sometimes it's okay, depending on the weather conditions and the part of the wasteland you're in. We're pretty lucky today. Good conditions. Sometimes the sun is a little bright, and sometimes there's a lot of explosions going on and you can't see. But you can turn those settings off to help you in your game settings. So there's that. But you can always guide your gun around also, because your enemies will pop up. Their health bar and stuff will pop up in as red, so you can tell it that way too. So if you guide, let's see if I can get it. We can't jump up there, so we have to go the long way around. Where did this person go? Oh, okay. I tried to help you. Oh, well, it's it's done. Well, anyway, if you aim your gun and just kind of like look around, your enemy health bar will pop up there, red, and that'll be another way you can tell when it's active camouflage if you can't see the shimmer. So that's another way. Well, I didn't expect it to like chug along this quick, and we've got a bit of time because I like to keep my videos the same length every time. So I guess what we can do is just explore, get some more tags, location tags in, because that'll be another kind of secondary goal for this character, is to get some more locations tagged, so we can have more fast travel places. So I think yep, on my compass there's a, I'll go ahead and leave the team, since I'm not going to be helping out much longer, because we'll explore this location, because this is new location. for this character. So we'll explore this location, and then this time I will call it a day for this character. But here we go. This is one of the Free State's bunkers. There's a couple quest lines associated with this, and we'll get into those more later. But also, if you remember when we did the Enclave missions, we started out in a bunker also. They were at least associated with some of the Free States people. But bunkers usually have a really good source of some loot. So we are going to loot everything. We need to build up her resources. Especially if we're going to be making some ammo. But this one in particular has a really a funny little story with it. As you're looting around, each bunker will have some things left behind, little clues and whatnot about the people who live there, and how they were doing. So this one has a funny little story. If we can come across them, I think I might be looting this one backwards. And all of them have extra little areas. There's one Free States bunker in particular that has gourds growing in it, and it is a really good place to get gourds to grow at your own camp. And gourds is very useful for making cranberry relish. So that's a useful thing to have at your camp. But you can see here they were kind of looking at things, and the computer will give us more of that story, but I don't want to give away too much of the story if you haven't been here before. But I will point out one of the funny little side stories, like and it's another thing, like the visual storytelling. Some of these notes that's left behind that are not useful for the storyline, but it just kind of lends to like the story of the people who lived in the bunker and kind of what they were doing. So, but like I said, I think I've went through this bunker a little bit backwards, so we'll get one part of the story before the other. Oh. Or maybe I did it okay, but we'll see. And most bunkers will have a workbench of some kind that you can scrap up in. So that's another good thing. And that's a really good thing since it was right by this event. There's just stash box there, of course. But if you actually needed to scrap up before you hit your stash box, you could always pop into this bunker and do that. So the bunker will always have like a work wing, so to speak. And I'm going to skip the holotapes until I actually do this storyline. And they have a living wing. So they have a common living area. So kitchen, living room, entertainment, that kind of thing. And that's where we're at right now. We were in their kind of like a day-to-day work life area. So where they were doing experiments in their storage space. So we're just gonna clean this bunker up here. And then there is a bedroom space. Oh, here here it is. So this one, IOU. So there's several of these IOUs around here, and then and there is also a response to all the IOUs in this one, so you can tell that the couple of people that lived here were having some issues, I guess. But it seems like one person kept using up resources and leaving IOUs, and the other one had to get the resources. So, yeah. So these little funny notes, and that, like I said, it lends to like the tale of the people and the personalities of the people that lived here. And of course, the things that's left behind on the computer also will do that too. And like I said, I'm not going to get too much into story. I tried to leave some of it for you guys to explore, because sometimes one of the fun things about Fallout 76 is exploring these little visual storylines. It's exploring these other little clues left behind on on how these people lived and what they were doing and all that. And I think for the most part, the people that lived in these Free States bunkers, to me anyway, it seems like they did perfectly fine for a while. And then, you get kind of stir crazy when you're in the same place and you don't leave. So everybody hit that I'm done, I need to leave kind of space. And I think that's interesting because they probably had, while they were living here and such, probably had one of the nicer and safer kind of places to live. But they, your resources are limited. You can see here the shelves are pretty bare. Another IOU. Yeah, so the shelves are pretty bare. So it's like they ran out of the resources that they needed. But you don't get that story, that same kind of story from the people who were at the White Springs after the bombs fell, like the old the first people. So in that storyline, those people, they knew they had a good place to live, and they didn't want to leave, but they had to. They had to. And then there's, of course, the storyline that goes along with that. And I won't tell you too much about that in case you need to get into it yourself. So, not too many spoilers there. But there was reasons why they had to leave. And there's other places where there's remnants of the survivors and how they lived and why they aren't there or why they are still there, scattered through the wasteland. Wasteland. Words again. I'm working on it though. But scattered through the wasteland, and it keeps it interesting. There is places that I've been that I've hit to tag, and then things would pop up like an event or something, and I would travel off and I didn't explore. But when you go back to explore, you find this storyline, and you're like, oh, this is interesting. So there's a couple of good ones. There's a couple that are really funny, and there are some that is very sad. So one of the very first ones I came across was very sad. uh, but it was such an interesting little line of clues to get the full story. And it took you to several different places before you got the full story. And that made it interesting to like have to track down the rest of the story and what happened to these people. Anyway, that again, that's something that I find interesting, is all the little detail in games like this that other people may not, because they want more of a streamlined kind of game. But I like these games where you can run into like a little note or just a little piece of a clue, and it's like, oh, this is going to be a bigger story. And sometimes it's a very bigger story, or and then sometimes it's a little story. So that's that's kind of the beauty, that and all the little visual storytelling that went along, that goes along with these Fallout games. But anyway, so we fully looted the bunker. We're gonna store our scrap, and since I'm at Nuka World, and remember, Nuka World is a free travel point, so this is a really good place to like do some stash management, sell some things, or script out in the legendary machine. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn in some script that we don't need and pull out some stuff and sell that we definitely don't need. And just do a little bit of stash management while I'm here. And I think we've almost hit our video mark. And like I said, I'm calling it a day for this character. But we did get that mutated event, and so we got our package, and that'll set us up with some sim packs for a while. So that's a good thing. And we have found a couple of guns that we really like for this character, and that's a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do some stash management and get rid of some of the things that she definitely doesn't need anymore. So we don't have to have all the backups that we used to have. We're pretty not completely set, but we're fairly set on things that she needs, or at least a direction that we're going to go, and things that we're going to look for, so we can get rid of a fair amount of stuff. So we're just gonna do some management here. So, and that is another part of the game, is figuring out your stash box and how you're going to manage it and what you need. Some people are builders, so they need more of the junk, and some people are collectors, so they'll need space for that. But it's all into like how you want to play the game and what you want to get into. Which aspect of the game are you going to like follow? So there's multiple ways to play. This game will never get old to me. But anyway, like I said, I'm just going to do a little bit more stash management. And thank you guys for watching. You have a lovely day and stay safe out there in the wasteland, all right?